Welcome to the Killjoy After Party.
Think the fun is over once you quit drinking?
Think again.
We have a booze-free beverage shop in Nashville, and we hear stories from our customers all the time about how much better life is after booze.
And we're excited to share these stories with you.
And since this is Nashville, you bet your ass
we're making it musical.
Yeah, it tastes like sunshine, like a real good time, lifting my mood and it brightens my day. Gonna rise and go, no alcohol, get my sparkle roll. Hey, gonna rise and go, no alcohol, get my sparkle roll.
I don't know about you guys, but the smell of pumpkin, just generally speaking, makes me feel sick. Like I had a bad experience as a kid with like carving jack-o'-lanterns, and it just like induced the gag reflex. But yeah, I just can't get down with the smell of pumpkin or butter. But I like pumpkin butter. You know, pumpkin butter.
But the smell of it, do you like the smell of it?
Of pumpkin butter?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's because it's totally different. It's, you know, it's like tasty like apple butter.
I don't mind the smell of pumpkin, but I do not like pumpkin spice.
Okay. Ooh. So you wouldn't consider yourself a basic bitch then?
I just don't like pumpkin spice.
She's not a spice girl.
I'm not a spice girl.
I like pumpkin spice. So I guess that would make me basic. Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Laura runs Zero Proof Nation. And how long has Zero Proof Nation been around?
5 years in next month. 5 years.
That's incredible.
Wow.
So you were an early adapter to the Zero Proof movement. You quit drinking a long time ago. Most of the people that we interview on the show are fairly new to being sober, but you're like, how many years are you?
Like a grandma.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17 years.
Wow.
Which is
amazing.
Kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, and I'm still excited about this industry. I'm still excited about this lifestyle. Even more so now that there are more people in it. It was kind of like a lonely hangout of just like you could hear crickets and lone whistles in a room. It was just pretty quiet. And now it's just, I mean, we're a movement. We're a global movement. So it's exciting. It's exciting times. But yeah, I've been advocating for options for almost as long as I've been sober. I think that first year for me, because I know that not everyone needs to have, you know, a quote unquote bottom, like some sort. And for those that may not know what that means, that's kind of like AA speak for like an event or series of events that are categorized as that last catalyst to make you get sober. Obviously, we're in the day and age now of like mindful drinking, sober curiosity. You can be alcohol free without having to go through all of that bullshit. I wanted to create Zero Proof Nation to like be for everyone. But it is true though that I have a story that included a series of events that were pretty dark, and I needed to quit drinking for my physical health, but for my mental health primarily. And if I did not quit when I did, I don't know how much longer I would have survived, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I had to make a decision to either like kill my social life, which is how it felt at the time and how it was for a while at the time, or like face actual dire consequences. And I was already facing them. I mean, I'd been hospitalized a couple of times for alcohol poisoning at a very young age. I wanted to live. I just also wanted to have a social life in my 20s. And at the time I couldn't have both. That's what it basically boiled down to. So that's been the fire that's lit from underneath me. I want to make sure that other people don't feel that. And that's kind of the root of why I started what I started, which was essentially just a way to connect with other people and give them options. And it's always about options and community. Mm-hmm. Options and community are sort of like my middle name when it comes to the platform. It's not a very short middle name. It doesn't fit on a lot of forms.
Well, we could make it like Optcom or something. That sounds a little military, but
Optcom, yeah, that does sound kind of military. We're seeking a nickname for me. during this podcast. So if you have
We're gonna find
any
it
suggestions.
too. But so far we've got Opticom and more coming, I think.
Yeah.
I still like grandma of sobriety.
Yeah. Well, Katie, a soberish mom, Katie, she calls me grandma, and it just kind of stuck for me. I do the little like grandma emojis because, yeah, it's just like I feel like you all are my grandkids.
So this sounds like a nickname.
Yeah.
Zero proof grandma?
No.
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 Just putting
Just
the squash
grandma?
on that. Just grandma? No zero proof grandma. Someone's gonna
All
like make a handle with that, and I'm not gonna like it.
So something that I tell people about all the time is your global map, which I just want to make sure that we shout out because it's incredible. And it has every bottle shop, every pop-up, she mostly keeps up with like
I mostly
everything.
keep up with it. I mostly do, but I am way behind. So to the whole world that's listening, because I know the listenership on the show is just like staggering through the
enormous.
roof. I think what excites me the most about having this full-time job beyond health insurance and an actual stable salary and learning something new and all the things that come with that is that I think I'm going to, in the new year, hire a VA or an intern or someone who can help me manage the beast of the map. It's very difficult to manage. And I do the best that I can with the resources that I have, but I do want to make sure that it's more up to date going forward. So if you and your establishment are not on it yet, there is a form to submit. And I will do my darndest to not take 5 months to put you on the map.
And that's at zeroproofnation.com.
Yep.
So everybody go
Yeah.
and check that out. It's an amazing resource. And just the fact that you had the wherewithal to put that together in the first place, I think is incredible. Whether it's completely up to date or not, it's still
Thank you.
It's still amazing because people come in all the time to the shop and they go, "Oh, there's nothing like this where I live." And I go, "Yeah, there is. You need to get on this map."
I love maps. I geek out on maps. And I think the reason why I care about travel and connecting the world and all of that, and it's because I'm the daughter of a retired U.S. diplomat, and I spent my life growing up overseas. We always had atlases and National Geographic and maps, and we were always traveling, and we had a globe, and it was just fun to see the different countries we had been to or were moving to on the globe. And I think that all kind of sat subconsciously in my mind, and I just became a cartographer.
That's really cool. How
Yeah.
many different countries did you live in growing up?
Egypt, Nicaragua, Peru, El Salvador, and the States. 5.
Wow.
Those are all very volatile too. Yeah.
I think El Salvador was like technically the most dangerous.
Yeah.
But Egypt was, maybe it was the illusion of safety, but it was quite safe. I walked to school every day. We had a lot of autonomy as teenagers there. And so I went to high school in Cairo. But fun fact, I was actually born there too. And
Wow.
we left when I was a baby and came back 14 years later. And that was my favorite place to live. I have such good memories of my time in Egypt. And we see on the map that it makes sense that the Middle East is becoming more of a growing hotspot for some of these non-alcoholic alternatives, but especially the halal certified ones, because they've got to be 0.0. There's a bottle shop that has a Kuwaiti presence and a UAE presence called Drink Dry. And it's founded by an expat. I don't remember the country she's actually from, but it's doing really, really well over there. And yeah, it's really exciting to see that this whole global movement is in 6 out of 7 continents. So my running joke is, we need some researchers in Antarctica. They need to start a bottle shop. They can order from Air Goods. Or they need to start like a bar for all the fellow researchers, and then we will actually be in 7 out of 7. So
This is my mind. I'm like, let's do it.
That's it.
yeah,
Let's go to Antarctica.
You guys would be
Perfect.
those people down in Antarctica. I know it.
Except we hate the cold.
We do hate the cold.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
problematically cold
Yeah.
all the time.
I'm not a fan of the cold, but I do actually really want fall to come. Now, last year, a couple years ago, like you would see the leaves changing and it would have a crispness in the air. But I'm wearing a tank top and shorts because a skirt, really, if we want to get technical, I'm wearing a skirt because it's so hot and they turned the air off in this building. So
Okay, so I have a question for you. So basically, you felt like you had to kill your social life in order to quit drinking. How did you get it back?
I think it's one of those like cliched things, like time takes time, but it took time to get it back. First of all, I needed to physically go through a period of time where I was just nursing my sobriety and like just focusing on staying sober. And in the beginning, it did involve going to a lot of AA meetings because that was the only source of community and mutual help. There were no online programs. There were no podcasts or blogs or, meetup groups. There was absolutely nothing. And so that's what I had to do. And that's what I did. I had a few friends who really did stick by me. I think about it, I'm like, I had to cut a lot of toxic people out of my life, but I think I might have also been a toxic person in some people's lives. And I might have also been a toxic person to people who did stick by me. And that took like aging to realize and understand. I couldn't have known that when I was like 24 or 25. But I had a few friends who really kind of stuck by me, and they invited me to things, and there were no non-alcoholic options then except for Diet Coke. I drink a lot of Diet Coke, but they made sure that if I was comfortable going somewhere that they would invite me. And then over time, I got more comfortable in my skin and more comfortable being sober. And I never really felt a sense of shame about it. I let my employers know once I had been sober for, a few months, like, hey, I'm sober and this is my life. And I also kind of wanted to put it out there so that it was almost like I was telling on myself so that nobody would give me booze. Nobody would mistakenly give me something or intentionally, like a way of protecting my sobriety if everyone knew, which is an unusual thing. I know that some people, want to keep it close to the vest. But for me, it was actually more of a protective factor for everyone to know. And then, I got more comfortable being the sober one, and then just making life fun without booze. And you just fast forward more time, and suddenly there are some options on the market. I mean, that's like a decade into my sobriety. I had to wait a long time, but I stuck with it, and I stayed patient, and now my apartment is a storage unit. For real.
You're such a vast resource on all things NA. Like you have, over 100 drinks in your apartment.
Way more. They were putting
way
in
more
lately.
than they. I haven't really heard you dish on the mushroom drinks at all. Functional, not magical. Do you have any faves in that realm?
Functional for sure. I was like, it's funny. I have a little thing of gummies. I've started to take some.
Yeah. What you got there? What's in there?
It's Mood and Energy Daily Gummies. It's got cordyceps, lion's mane, reishi, huperzine A, and L-theanine. It's supposed to give me energy, restorative factor, laser focus, sharp memory, and help my immunity and gut. It's not doing that. So just letting you know, my attention span's still out there. My gut's still a little like not right. And they call me Baby Geezer. My family calls me Baby Geezer. So I don't know if there's a sharp memory situation happening, but I think it's helping rather than hurting. I love Little Saints. And I know that Megan was just on Shark Tank. And I'm trying to think of like some of the other mushroom brands that are like functional as opposed to magical. One of the things that I had to be careful with, and I did a lot of education and self-education, just like learning about all of this as we all do, is that there are some beverages, and I think it's more of the nootropics or nootropics, however you say it, that one needs to be careful with if one is taking any kind of medication, because there can be some adverse interactions, especially like 5-HTP and SSRIs. They don't go well together, because then you have too much serotonin in your system. And I just had to do a lot of research that way.
That's a good point for people to know, is that you do need to kind of be aware of what's in the drink and what you personally are taking. Because I try to tell people, if you're pregnant or if you're taking medication, it might not be recommended and you should look into it.
And sometimes a doctor will know, but most of the doctors don't even know what these beverages are. They're just learning about these things, but they might know a little bit more about the compounds in the drinks and whether or not there are any kind of interactions, adverse or otherwise. So, what are your favorite functional mushroom drinks?
Listen, we're going to ask the questions here.
You made me snort laugh. Oh, that means that we're forever friends. Thank you. No, but really, what are they?
I like Breeze, the lion's mane one. They have a THC one as well. the one in the gold can, that's good. And then the Immoral are like interesting tasting, and they have the can looks good. So
Immoral, yeah. I do like the gals at Immoral, and they're very tasty. The beverages, maybe the gals are too. But
let's change topics.
yeah.
yep, great.
Okay. So, I mean, part of what we're trying to show on this podcast is that life is not over once you stop drinking. So if somebody out there is listening to this and they're like considering quitting drinking, I would love for you to share. And I know I personally have seen you throw down with some karaoke.
Yes.
Karaoke queen. But like a story about something that brave or scary or fun that you did totally dead ass sober. That was amazing.
Well, just about everything I've done in my adult life has been dead ass sober, if we want to think about it that way. So I had only just turned 24. 2 months after I turned 24, I got sober. So I was really young, and I've done everything since. I mean, let's just kind of
Run it down for us.
Go through a laundry list of a few things. I mean, I've been to countless weddings, been in weddings, gone to concerts with friends and alone, music festivals galore. I've traveled internationally by myself. I've joined a roller derby league. I have done so much karaoke. I've gone out dancing like till 2 a.m. I actually recently was dancing all night long at this company party that I went to. Yeah, I mean, let's just also get real. Like, I've had sex very sober. I've gone through breakups. I've gone through family deaths. I've also, fallen in love and then had a breakup. Anything fun you can imagine and anything horrible you can imagine. I've faced it. I've stayed sober, but I've had such an up and down journey. And the pandemic was really hard, like for so many reasons, obviously. But in the beginning, I live alone, and I didn't have a human touch. I didn't have a hug for over 3 months. And it was really like detrimental for my mental health. I found community in other ways, like Daybreaker was doing all of these online Saturday dance parties. And I did that for like a whole year. And, you find ways to connect with people in person, online. You find ways to deal with whatever you're dealing with. But also, like, you can do so much fun stuff. And now, like, no one really, unless they have their own problems and want to like project them on you, but no one is going to question what is in your hand.
Yeah.
There are so many beverage options now for every kind of occasion, every kind of drink. Like, there's just so much now. So I got sober when it wasn't cool. It was not trendy. It was not, it wasn't in vogue to do what I did. But now is just such a great time for people to try it on and see if it fits for them or see if parts of it fit. I don't think everyone needs to be sober. I think everyone can benefit from periods of sobriety, but everyone doesn't need to like be sober for the rest of their lives. Granted, I have my own opinions on whether any amount of alcohol is healthy, but also sugar's not good for you. And I'm guilty of loving dessert. Like, we just kind of have to know ourselves and know what our things are. But yeah, I've experienced a lot of joy in sobriety, a lot of like, hell yes. And,
yes.
And it's just fun to be in a community of like-minded people. We don't all have to have the same story. We don't all have to have the same periods of sobriety or even all be sober. Like, we just want to like consciously connect and drink beverages that aren't going to make us feel like shit the next day. And I think that's like, even if that's the common denominator, it's just like, have fun, no hangovers, and anything else goes. It's funny because like I really was like pre-sobriety when I was like originally sober, aka growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
I was pretty judgmental of people who drank. I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to go down that path. Then I drank, and I was judging you if you were sober. Right. And now I'm sober, and I'm not judging you if you do drink. I want to make it attractive and sexy and fun and a little crazy in a good way, the lifestyle that I'm living, so that people will be like, oh, maybe I don't have to go out all night, or maybe I don't have to drink as much as I was drinking. And I love what the Brits are doing. Like they call these things like zebra striping.
Oh yeah.
And bookending. And so like they'll either to zebra stripe, they'll alternate their drinks, non-alc, alc, non-alc, alc. Or I think I heard from Cammie, like Mindfully Cammie, about bookending. And that's like you start your night and you end your night with non-alc. And in the middle, you can drink an alcoholic beverage or two if you want. But it's you start your night out with intention, you end your night with intention.
Listen, I love not having to do any of those mental gymnastics. For me,
Exactly.
that is freedom.
Exactly.
Did you have a roller derby name?
Yes.
What was that?
Karaoke Queen.
Karaoke Queen.
Yeah.
This is
And
amazing.
I have my roller derby jacket in the closet, and it's got Karaoke Queen on it. And if I'm being totally honest with you guys, part of why I signed up for roller derby was just for street cred. It wasn't so I could actually play the game. I mostly just wanted to tell people I was on a roller derby league.
Well, so my nickname comes from my roller derby name
Yeah.
Oh.
Forgot about that.
because I
What was
played,
it?
and my name was Rude McClanahan.
Okay.
Which Rue McClanahan is the actress who played Blanche on
Oh,
The Golden
right,
Girls.
the Golden
So,
Girls. You know what's
yes.
funny? And I'm embarrassed to say this, and you might not ever be my friend again, just as we were getting there. I've never seen an episode of Golden Girls.
You need to rectify
Yeah.
that
Wow.
immediately.
But like to my credit, I grew up overseas and we didn't have a lot of TV options.
So I understand because I missed all of the 2000s because I was overseas.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah. But
Okay. I know I'm not
watching-
allowed to ask questions, but where were you and why were you overseas?
I had a job working for the University of Maryland overseas. So I was mostly in Germany. I also spent some time in Afghanistan and a year in Japan.
Oh my
And a year in
gosh. This is so wild. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
I was overseas for almost 14 years. I'm an administrator, so I just planned the programs and stuff like that. I was a
planned the programs. That's a big
professor
deal.
wrangler.
Yes. That might even be more impressive.
Yeah, we had a lot of like wacky professors. I'll tell you what, the ones who want to go teach in Afghanistan and Iraq are the wacky ones.
Yeah. You understand missing some cultural zeitgeist moments.
The Golden Girls to me is a very, very soothing television show. It's just pleasant and there's like a joke. There's constant jokes.
Yeah.
So it's funny. There's
Right.
no real like story arc. So you could just dip in, watch an episode here and there. I mean, there is kind of, but like none of it's super important. So like just dip in, watch an episode. So we're going to do something fun now since we haven't been having fun yet. And we are going to do, first of all, we're going to ask you some questions. We're going to do the rapid fire round and then we're going to write our little song.
Oh my God, there's a song.
There's
Okay.
a song.
Yes. What's your favorite color?
Turquoise.
Ooh, nice.
What's your favorite way to move your body?
Dancing.
Favorite animal?
Unicorn.
Oh, I love this. Go to karaoke song.
Oh, Darling.
Oh, darling, what is that?
By the Beatles.
Oh,
Abbey
yes,
Road.
got it.
Oh,
Yes.
darling. Please believe me. That one.
Favorite snack?
This is like Mad Libs. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Favorite snack. Cheez-Its.
Yes. God, the best answers.
Really? You say that to all the girls.
Favorite self-help book?
You know what? I read something recently that was like pretty life-changing. The High Five Habit
Ooh,
by Mel Robbins.
I like the sound of that. Yeah.
Self five.
Favorite band?
The Beatles.
Nice.
cliche of myself.
If you could travel anywhere tomorrow, where would you go?
Australia.
Good eye.
Good day indeed. Time to put another shrimp on the barbie.
You're ready.
The favorite feature of your own face?
My eyes or my smile or my smize.
Smize.
The smize gets it.
Smize.
Smize, even though I don't actually smize. Like I smile with my mouth. But we'll do smize.
Your eyes are dead, yeah.
Can you play any musical instruments?
Yes. Not super well, but I have a keyboard and 2 guitars.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. I feel good about that.
Yeah. Can you speak any other languages?
Spanish and a little bit of Arabic and a little bit of Yiddish.
Okay.
Impressive.
That's the language of the old Jews.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying.
That was more for John's face than anything else.
All right, I feel good about this. We got a lot of info to go on here.
Laura's made a map for us all to find. Places to get zero-proof drinks.
Yes, that's it.
Nice.
Just stole the melody from the outfield. So
Places to get zero-proof drinks. I love that.
She did roller derby just to have street cred.
Yes, she did roller derby just to have street cred.
doesn't care what anyone thinks.
Doesn't care what anyone thinks.
Except I care what everyone thinks of the time. Then you could write, just kidding.
That could be the chorus. Psych. Okay, so I feel like she said that her whole thing is have fun, no hangovers,
Yeah.
anything goes.
Is that the chorus?
That was a direct quote.
Yeah. Sounds like me.
So
you
I
can take
felt
your
like
shirt off
hangovers.
without being drunk, you know?
take your shirt off, spin it around your head
Go.
like
Yeah,
a.
it's like a very
Helicopter.
sort of
I was trying to think of
that feels so right.
like a skort. Take your skort off.
Oh my god. I mean, skort is just a
Write
fun
it down.
word to say.
Yeah,
Like,
that's gold. Take your skirt off.
Take your skort off. How about we high five? High five a unicorn?
High five.
Yeah.
Unicorn. Yes.
I don't know. This doesn't make sense, but I just wrote, take your skort off, high five a unicorn. Oh, darling, she's your sober grandma.
Yes.
Just putting it all together, kind of like Mad Libs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I almost want to get that tattooed.
I love it.
I think,
And
I mean,
then what's our like chanty thing? Then it's like a chanty thing.
ZPN.
Yes.
Zero proof. Yeah.
Oh man, oh man. Oh my god, this is the best song I've ever heard.
Yes.
Stream it.
Put it on the map.
Oh yeah, put it on the map.
Put it on the map. ZPN. Put it on the map.
Baby Geezer's got to dance. Put it on the map.
right.
Baby Geezer's got to dance. Put it on the map. ZPN.
All right.
This one is a little more unhinged than normal, but I think it can be done.
Well,
needed an
look who
unhinged
you're
one.
talking to. It tracks.
Laura's made a map for us all to find. Places to get zero proof drinks. She did roller derby just to have street cred. Don't care what anyone thinks.
Like,
Take your skirt off. High five a unicorn.
It's skort.
Take your skirt off. Sorry.
take your skirt off, yeah. And then what about a unicorn?
High five a unicorn. She's your zero.
Oh, I think, oh, darling.
Oh, darling.
She's your zero. Sober grandma.
Sober grandma.
She's your sober grandma.
ZPN. Put it on the map. Baby's got to dance. ZPN.
Just mess around with it.
I don't know.
Just
We'll
mess
see what
around.
happens. All right. Mary McClanahan.
That was my song. We're writing my song.
Laura's made a map for us all to find. Places to get zero proof drinks. She did roller and derby just to have street cred. And she don't care what anyone thinks.
But she does.
Take your skirt off. High five a unicorn. Oh, darling. Take your skirt off and high five a unicorn. She's your zero proof grandma. TPN. TPN. Baby gonna dance. Baby's gonna dance. Yeah. ZPN. ZPN. Put it on the map. Come on, put it on the map. Yeah. ZPN. Baby's gonna dance. You can put it on the map. You can put it on the map. On the ZPN. On the ZPN. Hey, Laura's gonna dance. Gonna put it on the map. Yeah.
Oh my god, someone actually wrote a song about me. That's like one of my life goals. Oh,
It's happened.
I want
It's
that in my,
happening.
I was gonna
Oh
say I
my
want that on
God.
my iPod. Like that's not a thing anymore. I want that.
That was good. I felt the energy was strong.
Yeah, y'all came in at the right time.
Oh
It
my
was money.
God.
It's kind of the natural end after the song is over.
Yeah,
but
well, that's perfect.
we are so grateful to you. You are so much fun. I love what you are doing for this movement, that you're just out there being everyone's cheerleader and high-fiving unicorns. We love you. And is there anything else you would like for people to know, or you would like to share with people about what's coming up for you?
Well, I think use the map when you travel, when you're at home. Subscribe to my Substack. And
What's your Substack? What's
my
it called?
Substack is zeroproofnation.substack.com. And it's a pretty stellar newsletter, if I don't say so myself. But what I really do is kind of the, epitome of what I do on social media, which, again, I'm self-proclaimed bad social media person, but
She's great. Follow her. We are sober.
we are sober and Zero Proof
Nation.
at Zero Proof Nation. And if you're in the DC area, at Booze Free in DC, do that as well. Just follow all the things, but more importantly, be my friend. Connect with me. I want to help support you. I want to just be friends, and we can,
Well, thank you. Thank you for being a friend.
Yeah, isn't that the thing from Golden Girls?
It is, yeah. I had to bring it back.
That was perfect.
It's all
then.
full circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. I love what you're doing in Nashville. I love Nashville, so I got to come back, visit you, and have some hot chicken and some pickles.
We'll go do karaoke and perform your song.
Yes, and then we can go to Hattie B's
Hell yeah.
or anywhere else that you want to go.
We love Hattie B's.
Hattie
We're
B's.
friends with all the Hattie B's folks.
Hattie B's. Okay, excellent, most excellent. All right, well, I'll see you in January, and I'll see you on Insta before that.
All right. Thanks again, Laura.
Bye, guys.
Bye.